Hey, what's going on, guys? Mr. Clough, 8th grade GT Geography, here to give you your homework for the weekend. I know how happy and excited you must be when you get this video, so just hold tight. Okay, the purpose of this assignment, in class we've been talking about migration patterns and where people live in the United States in the post-18, probably the 1840s, 1835 era to 1860s, pretty much the post-Civil War era, right before then. So, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the early settlement patterns and why nomadic and migrating people chose to live in a certain area in which cities in the United States have been successful and why people live there today. We have a lot of information about why people moved where and why they live there from the past. We're going to go have a little overview of what the regions are like today so you guys can do some comparing and contrasting. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to shepherdsoftware.com/webgames. Click Control. I already have mine open. I know this is web games. I know you're all getting excited, so just hold on tight. We're going to go down to the Master Geographer. Okay, cool. So this is loading. It's going to be an empty map of the United States. It's going to give us a state. So it gives us a state. What is this? You click on it. You can flip it around. That's Kentucky. So we have Kentucky, and it's our job to find it on the map and put it in the correct place. The reason I'm having you do this is two things. One, just to give you a little review of where every state is without having it labeled or the map or the outline of each state to put them in. Two, because somebody the other day in class said that Nevada was a city inside Las Vegas, not that Las Vegas was a city inside Nevada. And that really bothered me. I was like, what are you doing? It's a GT class. I'm just joking. But you shouldn't say that kind of stuff. Okay, so here we're going to put Kentucky over here. Right off of West Virginia. Should be really close. Yeah, just a little bit off. And that's where Kentucky goes. I don't know why they had the red bigger than the white. But you know how it goes. So it goes right there. Okay. So hopefully when you do it, like my computer's glitching with it a little bit, but you drop the state in there, do as many states as you can. But really, keep in mind while doing this where people moved right after the Civil War until 1877 and where people live today. Like the Midwest, the Northwest area, it's not as populated as the Mid-Atlantic through the upper East Coast and like really all the way down from Maine to Florida compared to the rest of the country. I mean, the population density throughout the country is different everywhere. So keep that in mind when labeling the map and keep in mind the different places where people live and why they live there. Okay, so after you do this, we're going to go back. And we're going to go down, stay on this web page for a little bit longer. We're going to go down to the the U.S. regions. Okay, so there's 8 different regions. Just click on them all. It's about like a page, 2 pages worth of reading. And it goes over like the economic, the culture, the history of the place, and all the different factors of why people live there and who were the first people to live there in the United States, and so on and so forth. This will be very helpful because it will give you the number of people who live where. Like Connecticut is 3 million people, Maine 1 million, Massachusetts 6 million. But cities like New York and Los Angeles, the city itself has millions of people in it. Just keep that in mind when doing this. Like, why do people live where, and like how certain states have less population than certain cities, and so on and so forth. And what makes people live there? If economic places, the economy and culture are 2 of the biggest factors of why people live in a certain place. We want to be around, most people want to be around people like themselves, and they want to be around somewhere they can make money, so they can work. So there's 8 different regions, so let's go back. Excuse me. So you'll go back, you can go back down, and click on another region and go back and do it again. There's 8 of them. Make sure to read all 8, look at all the different factors, just really consider the population that is in each city now, and each state now. And it has all the big cities per state listed on the side. Some states don't really have big cities, so keep that in mind. There's not a lot of people live in a certain state. What is the big city? How many people live in the big city? 100,000 or 1 million? Just keep that in mind when doing this. Okay, then we're going to go to the evolution of settlements. This is a video by the TED company, I think. So you just have to restart it. I have the hyperlink on the worksheet. I can't play it for you because the sound for the movie when I play through the screencast. But it's a really interesting video about like, the domestication of animals and other things, and why people live where, and what the future of cities possibly is. So keep that in mind, watch that, and you're going to use that as a source momentarily. Okay, so then, here's the YouTube link, by the way, so make sure you control click that, copy and paste, do what you need to do to get that thing watched. Okay, so next is using the thematic map activity. This is the activity that's going to go along with the readings and the YouTube video and the notes we have in class on this week about post-Civil War, the 1877 era. So we're going to use the map activities, the YouTube video, and the descriptions about each region. We're going to choose a region, we're going to describe its human and physical characteristics, the settlement patterns, the migration, the population density, the transportation, and the communication network. You're going to offer your own analysis on why people chose to settle here. This is like the economics of the area, the culture, the people, the geography, the weather. Maybe each area has a combination of factors. Maybe they'll have one. Maybe they just have good jobs, not good weather. Maybe they have good jobs and good weather. Maybe they have neither, and people just got stuck there. Finally, discuss how the impact of these factors had on the migration and settlement patterns of pre-1877, and which settlements were most successful and seen during the map exercise. How many of the successful settlements are urban cities? Which city would you want to live in? Excluding Baltimore, of course. Baltimore cannot go on there. Okay, now for the long writing assignment. This is just, go through probably like a paragraph, 2 paragraphs, at least 2 sentences per question mark. Keep that in mind. And then for this is more the writing assignment. Now you need to consider the different regions that you read about and choose a city from each region. Compare the cities that you have chosen from the way they were in 1877 and when they were first settled in your notes to the way they were described on the Shepherd Software webcam website. And even on the video, the different ways cities have come up and come about. There are 8 regions, so I expect at least 8 pages worth of writing, so a page per comparison. Really, I think you could probably do a little bit more than a page. I just don't want to scare you and put 16 pages, but compare the city or the state from the way it was in the post-Civil War era to the way it is today. Alright guys, that should be good for you. Have any questions, just shoot me an email. Have a good weekend. I'll see you on Monday.